What's going on, people, and welcome back to another Premier League predictions for game week 37. We've only got another game week after this left, and then it's the end of the season, sadly. But it's been a great season, ups and downs, peaks and troughs, lots of teams doing better than people expected, some teams doing worse. And I think it's good for the league. I think there's more teams challenging in terms of not necessarily for just the top two spots, but even up to like 5th and 6th, and I think that top half of the table is really benefited from the unpredictableness of this season. And I think if we can get another season like that going forward next season, it does good for the league. So I think it's been a very good season. When it comes to your own personal teams, you might hope that your team would have done better. Overall, I think it's been a very positive season, a very good one, and lots of teams competing. Let's get into it. And on Saturday, we've got Tottenham versus Brentford. And I've gone with Brentford in this one away. I just think Tottenham are a joke, to be honest. So Brentford, although what I will say is that Ivan Toney has just been issued with an 8-month ban. And I think it is immediate to effect. So I don't think he can play now. He's going to miss at least a portion of the quarter of the new season, even like half. Now, it's not good timing for this to happen anyway. The charges he's been found guilty of. But it would have been worse if it had happened at the start of next season, because he would have missed the whole season. So it's not good, but I think it could have been worse for them. But he is a huge miss for them regardless. They're going to have to bring someone in, I think, to try and recreate what he's done, which I don't think they will, because it's just tough to find that person to do the same thing or better. It's going to be interesting to see how Brentford cope. But for 2 games for the remainder of the season, they should be fine. And I expect them to beat Tottenham even without Toney. So that says how highly I think of Tottenham. 2-1 Brentford away. And that's a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. Getting into the 3 o'clock kickoffs then, we've got Bournemouth versus Manchester United. I've gone with a 2-0 away win to Manchester United in this one. Bournemouth can be tricky at home, but I expect us to get the 3 points. And I think that they will struggle to break us down defensively. Hopefully, anyway. So I'm going 2-0 away, Manchester United. Fulham versus Crystal Palace. I've gone with a 2-2 in that one. I think Silva's done a fantastic job this year, especially with certain key players out with injuries and missing through suspensions and things. I think he's done a fantastic job. And Crystal Palace, since Hodgson come back into it, have improved immensely. I know they've been a little bit hit and miss recently, but I expect them to get at least a point in this game. I've gone 2-2. And Eze is one of the form players in the league, let alone just for Palace. Great player, and in one of the most informed players in the league right now, Eze. And that is a lot of that has got to be given credit to Roy Hodgson. So 2-2 for Fulham versus Palace. Liverpool versus Aston Villa. I've gone with another draw in that one as well. I've gone with a 1-1. Anfield's a tough place to go. They have had a poor season though, and have only been turning it around in the recent months. And I think Villa under Emery are improving more and more. And I think they'll get something in this, despite it being at Anfield. So I'm going to go 1-1. Wolves versus Everton. I'm going with a home win in this one, narrowly, with a 1-0 home win to Wolves. Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal is the Sky game on Saturday at 5:30. I've actually gone with Forest to cause an upset in this one. They're at home. I think they cause teams problems at home, no matter who it is. And Arsenal, after just throwing the league away, I think they're going to be mentally damaged from recent weeks and just throwing the points and the lead they had away. And I think it's going to tell in this game. And I expect Forest to get the 3 points. I've gone with a 2-1 Forest win. Moving into Sunday then, we've got 3 games. One at 1:30, which is West Ham versus Leeds. Allardyce is doing a pretty good job since he's gone in there. They're getting a few draws. But I think West Ham will be too much for them at West Ham at the Bowling Ground. So I'm going to go for a home win. I'm going to go 3-0 West Ham. Brighton versus Southampton. I've gone with a home win in this one by quite a distance. 4-0 Brighton for me. I think De Zerbi is just... all I'm hearing about him is good things from the players, from people that are involved within the club. And people like punditry, everyone that talks about him doesn't really have a bad word to say about him. And on the fantasy Premier League, app or website, if you go on it, you can actually vote for your manager of the season. I've just voted for mine, and I voted De Zerbi because I think he has done beyond what was expected, taking over from Potter, who did a good job there, and he's improved it even more. They don't have a massive budget, and their recruitment I think is the best in the league. So for me, manager of the season for me, and Southampton already relegated. I just think that they're the carcass waiting to be just picked at more. So 4-0 Brighton for me. Manchester City versus Chelsea at 4 o'clock. I've gone with a home win in this one. City just knocking out Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League as well, which I expected Madrid to win that, even though the second leg was at City, because I think Madrid have the know-how and have won it the most in history. But to be fair to them, City dismantled them, and you can't argue with it. They now have Inter in the final, Manchester City, and I think City probably will win it now. And they're probably going to equal that treble record that United set all them years ago. So it's a painful one to take. I wanted Madrid and I want Inter in the final, but I think City will do it now. But for this game, I've gone with a home win to City with the momentum, the confidence, the depth. It's a great time to be playing Chelsea for them, I think. So I've gone with a 3-0 home win to City. Monday, we've got one game, 8 o'clock. We've got Newcastle versus Leicester. I'm going with a 3-0 home win to Newcastle in that. The atmosphere at St James's Park, the confidence this season, Eddie Howe, what he's done this year. I think next year, Newcastle and Brighton are going to be the two teams to watch and keep a close eye on, because I think they're going to build on even more on what they've done this year. And I think they've exceeded expectations, both of them clubs this year. And I think they're going to improve even more next year. So for this one, I'm going to go 3-0 Newcastle. And I think Leicester will get relegated now. Wednesday, 8 o'clock kickoff, we've got Brighton versus Manchester City. This could be a barnstormer of a game if both teams turn up. I've edged it to City with an away win, 2-1. But I could see Brighton winning it also, because when they're on it, they're a problem for anyone. But I've edged it to City 2-1. Could be game of the week, this one. And then lastly, to finish up this game week, guys, we've got Manchester United versus Chelsea. 8 o'clock kickoff on Thursday. I've gone with a 1-0 home win to my boys, Manchester United. I think it will be a close game, and I think we'll edge it. At Old Trafford, I've gone with a 1-0 home win. But Chelsea could come there and cause problems. I don't expect them to cause enough to get the 3 points. I could see them maybe grabbing a draw, but I'm confident. I'm more than confident that we can get the 3 points if we show up. So I'm going to go 1-0 Manchester United. That is it for Game Week 37, guys. Only one game week left after this. So make sure you're getting involved. Enjoy the weekend of football, and obviously going into next week as well. Some teams got double games. So enjoy the vast amount of football. And let me know who your team's got and how you fancy your chances. Have a good day, guys. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. And I'll catch you guys soon.